Hello everyone, it's Dan, your resident Digimon fan. Welcome back to the channel. Now today I have a follow-up on my relatively popular Digimon World references series. I'm not sure which one we're on. I think we might be on the 4th or the 5th edition at this point. But in this video we're going to be talking about references to the PS1 game Digimon World in BT6 Double Diamond, and we also have one bonus card as well from the Old Force Digimon starter deck. So there weren't too many Digimon in Double Diamonds that were around when Digimon World came out. I mean, obviously it's a PS1 game, it's quite an old game, so the Digimon available were the earlier Digimon. As a result, there aren't many references in the cards because a lot of the Digimon in the BT6 Double Diamond set weren't in the game. But I was able to round up some pretty clear references, at least 4 clear references out of the 8, and then the other 4 are, I'd say, potentials. It's probably the polite way of putting it. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So starting off with card number 1, we have Demi Miramon. So the baby obviously in this video, in this card, sorry, I'm not actually sure what his name is, but that isn't in Digimon World, but Demi Miramon is in Digimon World, and he could be seen floating around the lava flows once you have broken through the drill tunnel. And as you can see, Demi Miramon here is hanging out on the lava flows. So I thought that was this goes into the maybe pile rather than the definite pile, but I thought it was kind of cool. He's hanging out in the same sort of area as he does in the game, so we'll put him in the maybe pile. The next one is another maybe, and it is Gabamon. Now, originally when I saw this card, I thought, oh, it must be Tropical Jungle, but then I tried to determine whether Gabamon actually appears in the Tropical Jungle. And although he originally does not, he does appear in the Mangrove Forest, where you recruit Betamon once you have recruited Betamon. So, as such, I believe that it's possible that this is meant to be him on the beach and the tropical jungle. So again, one for the maybe pile. Next up is for the definite pile, and that is Mojamon. So I covered this one in my Double Diamond box opening, but this is a clear reference to the Mojamon traders in Digimon World. So in Digimon World, there are 3 Mojamon in Friesland, and they live in these little igloos on the ice flows, and they will trade items for different things. So as you can see in this video, you've got, this card, you've got one Mojamon trading a medium recovery, that's this disc over here, the red disc, for I think it's a speed disc, or it might be a special attack disc, not sure. But this is the most common trade that you can make in Digimon World to make money. In fact, to make 1,000,000 bits, I think there's a medal to get 1,000,000 bits, and pretty much the only way to do it without grinding forever is to buy a bunch of medium recoveries from the shop and trade them to Mojamon for these discs, and then sell these, because these are worth maybe like 4 times what these are worth, so you make a decent profit. But yeah, I thought that was a really cool reference. Mojamon goes into the definite pile. Okay. Let's move on to the next one, another one for the maybe pile, and that is Mamemon. So this one is in the maybe pile because it looks as though Mamemon could well be on Mount Panorama, which is where you find him in the game. This is purely based on the green grassy bits, and then you've got the mountainy bits all around him. That's, again, like I said, a bit of a stretch, and that's why he goes in the maybe pile. But I do like Mamemon as a Digimon. He's really cute. And Mamemon as well is one of the key Digimon in Digimon World, because he's the one that pops out of the player's Digivice when you come back to File Island after completing the main game. So there you have it. The next one is really cool, and I had to look closely at this one, and it is Gabamon. Now, it might not be obvious what this could be a reference to, but this, to me, it looks exactly like the 3 Gabamon that hang on top of the Great Canyon. So you can see just over here, you've got the white bridge either side, and in the background you can see this tower, which is where the elevator down to the, and that's what the cables are, the elevator down to the Ogre Fortress is. So there is a place in Digimon World where these Gabamon hang out, or they're called Gabamon, and I believe that is what this is a reference to. So pretty obscure reference, but this one's in a definite pile. Really cool, and it's one of those things that unless you're really paying attention, you might not notice. Next one is another definite. We have Ogamon, and in this card we have Ogamon eating some meat. He's being served some food by an Agumon, because as we know, Ogamon has a lot of Agumon lackeys. And in the background, you can just about see what looks like a sign, and that is the Ogre Fortress sign. So you've got the wooden stakes, you've got the rocks in the background. This is clearly the Ogamon from the bandits in Digimon World. So again, really cool reference, and that goes in the definite pile. So we have one more definite, and then we have one more maybe. So the last definite, and by far my favourite of the references, is Skull Greymon. Now, this Skull Greymon is the Skull Greymon that you battle in the basement of Greylord Mansion, or Greylord Manor. I can't remember if it's Manor or Mansion. But in that fight, you are surrounded by some sort of like a disgusting stuff. I'm not sure what it's meant to be, like amoebas or something, I'm not sure, but just piles of this grotesque stuff all around him, because it was meant to be some sort of like failed experiment in the basement, and you can see that stuff piling up. You've got the bones in the background, you're clearly underground because it's all dark, and then the Skull Greymon as well. So really cool reference, really like this one, and it's a really cool battle in the game as well. One of the ones that I missed actually when I was a kid somehow. And down to our maybe card. So this card is actually from the All Force Vidramon starter deck, and it is Gabamon. Now, this to me looks as though it's Gabamon walking around Misty Trees, which is where you find him in Digimon World. He's actually hiding at the back of Misty Trees, so not found walking around, but this is definitely the kind of area where you would find him. So this again goes in the maybe pile, but it's a pretty cool reference nonetheless. And the only one I could find out of the two new starter decks, because the majority of Digimon in those decks weren't around when Digimon World was around. Hi everyone, it's Future Dan here. Sorry just to butt in. I completely forgot to mention in this video about the Memory Boost promos. So this was pointed out to me on a previous video. These Memory Boost promos, so the red, blue, the yellow, green, black, and purple, are actually references to the training, like the different training stages you can do in Digimon World. It's not limited to Digimon World 1, which is probably why it didn't immediately spring to mind. However, there are definitely some references. So we've got Agumon here doing some bomb training, you got Vmon doing some attack training, so those won't be from Digimon World 1. However, here we have Agumon doing the HP training, pushing a boulder, looking to digivolve into Greymon, so that's definitely a Digimon World reference. Here we have Wormmon doing the speed training, if you notice that icon there. So obviously Wormmon, Stingmon weren't in Digimon World 1, but this is this green gym by the looks of it, so that's a cool reference. We have Hagurumon doing the defense training with the boxing glove. Hagurumon you can't actually tame in Digimon World, but Hagurumon and Gardramon are actually in the game, and I think this is still meant to be Green Gym from Digimon World 1. And then finally we have Demi Miramon. He's in the MP Waterfall and looking to digivolve Devimon, so clear references to Digimon World. Didn't want to not include him in the video, so there you go. Right, back to Past Dan. So there you have it. That's all that I have for you today with references. So we had 8 cards in total from this set, 4 on the maybe pile and 4 in the definite pile. Pretty good going, I would say. It'll be interesting to see where we go with the next set. I feel as though the Digimon that we get in the sets are going to become more and more obscure as time comes on, because obviously the original sets were mostly well-known Digimon, like the partner Digimon and the mascot Digimon, which were the ones around in Digimon World's lifespan, so it's possible that we won't get many more references, but it's good to see them still piling up. I've got quite a good pile of references now, and I will at some point do an overall overview of all the references in one video. So look forward to that one. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will be back with another video. It's getting a bit dry at the moment. We've just had news of the classic collections release dates. It's definitely going to be December for Europe, and it's going to be January for North America. So once there's more information and a card list and things like that, I'll make a video with a short buyer's guide. But really looking forward to that. Waiting for my pre-orders to become available. I plan to go hard on that set. It's going to be amazing. All right, guys, thanks again, and I'll see you on the next video.